Good morning, everyone, and welcome to linux.conf.au 2020 on the Gold Coast. First up, I'd like to introduce the Yoakum dancers for our Welcome to Country.
Yes. Good morning, everyone. We are the Yoakum General Dancers. We are traditional people from the Gold Coast area, which is the Yoakum language group. And the Yoakum language group goes from the Tweed River in the south to the Logan River in the north and out just over the mountains to the Bow Desert area. In our language for welcome, we say Jingari, the first song and dances to welcome you here to this country. Jingari wala wala Yoakum jagat. Anya mala, anya bayami. Jigiri wala wala ya kame dakera 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 jigiri wala wala ya kame Ajigiri wala wala ya kame jakan yo yako Jingari, welcome. So we'd like to pay respects to our elders, past and present. We'd also like to pay respects to you guys and your families and your ancestors, no matter where you come from. The next dance about our people going fishing. And this is about going fishing on one particular fish, which is the mullet fish. The mullet is very important to our family here in the Gold Coast area. The mullet fish will migrate from the cold waters in the south to the warmer waters in the north during the cooler months. And when we see the paperbark trees just starting to flower, that's the very first sign for our family that the mullet will start to travel through this area. And it's time to gather our fishing gear, our spears, our nets, head down to the water and start fishing. In our language for fish, we say jalam. Jalam along. Abra bla mama jalam, abra bla mama jalam, abra bla mama jalam, abra bla mama jalam, abra bla mama jalam. Yako, alright. Hop, yako. Abra bla mama jalam, abra bla mama jalam, abra bla mama jalam. Yako, alright. Hop, yako. Abra bla mama jalam, abra bla mama jalam, abra bla mama jalam, abra bla mama jalam, abra bla mama jalam. Warama, alright. Hop, yako. The next dance about the boomerang. In our language, we call the boomerangs baragan. The returning boomerang was used as a decoy or to trick the animals. Dance a boomerang, baragan. Intabrabra, habrabra, intabrabra, habrabra, intabrabra, habrabra, habrabra. Alright. Hop. Intabrabra, habrabra, intabrabra, habrabra, intabrabra, habrabra. Intabrabra, habrabra, intabrabra, habrabra, habrabra. So we're going to take a short break from the dancing while we have a didgeridoo solo. Didgeridoo is just a hollow piece of wood, hollowed out by the termites or the white ants, and it's strictly a men's instrument, only to be played and touched by men only. The way we play didgeridoo, we vibrate our lips in a loose, relaxed fashion. We also have circular breathing, which allows us to play didgeridoo continuously for a long time without stopping. As didgeridoo player begins to play, just at the very start, I will ask him to raise his hand, just to show you or indicate to you when he is taking that breath in through his nose. Didgeridoo. The next dance, our last dance, is a dance about the eagle. And the eagle is very important to our family. The eagle is our totem. It's like our brother. We call the eagle Mibin. Hey, and I'm up in my bin, nakayan na lam. Ay, and I'm up in my bin, nakayan na lam. Ay, and I'm up in my bin, nakayan na lam. Ay, and I'm up in my bin, nakayan na lam. Ay, and I'm up in my bin, nakayan na lam. Ay, and I'm up in my bin, nakayan na lam. Ay, and I'm up in my bin, nakayan na lam. Ay, and I'm up in my bin, nakayan na lam. What am I? Aray, 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 aray. Hop, hop. So we are the Yoakum Aboriginal dancers. We'd like to thank you all for letting us share just a very, very little bit of our culture with you today. For those of you who are Australian, this culture, the history, the songs and stories, it all belongs to this land. So it belongs to all of you guys as well. Thank you very much.
So thank you very much to the Yoakum Bear dancers for that warm welcome. So for our conference program, on the Monday and the Tuesday, we have a selection of 12 mini-confs. We have over 80 talks and tutorials throughout the week. We will be running lightning talks on the Friday in the afternoon, so there will be more information about that later in the week. We are going to be running 6 tracks, and the conference schedule might seem quite large. So if you are stuck for a talk to go to, keep left. We have had the largest rooms, or the rooms with the highest capacity, to the left of the schedule, so there's a higher chance of you to find a spot in there. Of course, there will also be the hallway track, which is people outside in the hallways, sitting down, doing extremely cool things with stuff that they've brought or stuff that they are developing right now.
Linux.conf.au could not run without the support of a number of sponsors. So I'd like to take you through these wonderful companies that have supported us this year. So please join me in thanking our Emperor Penguin sponsor, IBM, our Emperor Penguin sponsor, Western Digital, our King Penguin sponsors, ARM and ARNet, who are providing the network for you today. Our Royal Penguin sponsors, Red Hat, Google, and SUSE. Our Delhi Penguin sponsors, Ivan, FreeBSD Foundation, Salesforce, the Linux Professional Institute, Technology One, and Tritium. Our Fairy Penguin sponsors, OzCert, Catalyst, Sendio ThinkLink, and ThoughtWorks. Our Outreach and Inclusion sponsor, Google. And some wonderful companies that have come on board to help us in other ways. So Ubico, GC Hub, the Gold Coast Tech Space, and Destination Gold Coast. And of course, we wouldn't be here today without the wonderful support of Linux Australia. Now on to the most important part of the entire presentation, the Wi-Fi information. I'm now watching everyone open their phones and laptops and furiously typing. Thank you to ARNet for providing the network once again. The details are up there, as you can see, and if you are one of the wonderful people who are lucky enough to have got eduroam access, that's here as well.
So if you do see eduroam floating around and you think it's a bit suspicious that it would be here, it is legit. So, housekeeping. Wear your lanyard with your badge at all times. I do understand that there have been a few people who weren't able to grab all of this before the conference opening this morning, but registration will be open throughout the week. It opens at 8 a.m. each day, so you can go and collect that at your earliest convenience. But please do it soon. Now, it is the Gold Coast. It is summer. The sun is up. It is hot outside. Wear sunscreen. Stay hydrated. This is very important. The venue is a no-smoking venue. Please use the outdoor smoking areas. There's some out the front and off to the sides. And wash your hands. There are a lot of people in the venue. We don't want you to be sick. For catering, there is catered morning and afternoon tea provided daily. So the foyer E and F are outside the keynote venue. This is upstairs.
Yes, so if you go from this venue here, up the stairs to our entry doors on the first level, that entire foyer out to that side along here will be our catering area for morning and afternoon tea.
And there are elevators off to the right. Food and coffee is available for purchase on site from a variety of outlets. There is a combi, which I'm sure some of you will have seen and used. There are plenty of cafes and restaurants nearby, so there's some directly across the tram line, and there's even more a bit further away, closer to the beach. And there is also Pacific Fair close by, which I believe is in that direction.
If you need help during the week, we've got a wonderful team of volunteers here to assist, and Ben's going to turn around and he's going to show you what to look for. All of our volunteers are wearing shirts with this on it, so if you see one of them and you've got a question, feel free to ask and they'll help you out. Also, our wonderful team at the registration desk will be there all week. If you've got questions, you're welcome to go to them at any time to go and ask them, and they'll help you out as soon as possible. Now on to the things that you got in your bags. If you've collected them, you might have already seen it. So all attendees will have got at least one enamel pin. The Gold Coast logo that you have seen on our shirts here is made up into a pin form. Everyone should have got one of them. If you are a speaker, you will have got an additional pin. And if you are a volunteer, you've also got a separate one. If you ordered a conference shirt, you'll have one of them in your bag.
For the professional and speaker swag, we have a YubiKey 5 NFC, two-factor, and a YubiKey 5 sticker for you to apply. That should be in your bag. We've also got access to Go cards, which are the transport cards that we use on the Gold Coast and throughout Queensland. So, a bit of information about these. When you are using them and you arrive at the station or at the bus where you are alighting, you tap the card to the card reader. As you leave the train station or exit the bus, tap again. It'll record that trip.
We have a range of keynote speakers that will be presenting this week. So from tomorrow morning, we'll have our first keynote, and we'll have one each day until Friday. The way this will work is we'll open at 9 a.m. with our daily housekeeping, then move straight into the keynote. So please be seated in this room by 9 a.m. ready for that. There'll be no question time during our keynotes, but you're welcome to go and find the keynote presenters afterwards to ask any questions that you may have. So, who are our keynote speakers, in case you haven't been keeping up with our announcements, Ben?
So, on Tuesday, we have Dr. Sean Brady. On Wednesday, Donna Benjamin. Thursday is Associate Professor Vanessa Teague. And Friday is Lizzie O'Shea. So make sure you don't miss any of them.
If you're wondering which day or for more information about their talks, our conference schedule is available on the website now at linux.conf.au/schedule. All of the details of the keynote presentations are up there as the first talk of each day. So please check that out. And obviously, as you're going through the conference during the week, keep up to date with the schedule through that page. We have a number of events that we're going to be running as normal at LCA. We've got our traditional speakers dinner, penguin dinner, and professional delegates networking session. But in addition, we have a Women of Open Technology breakfast, which is going to be tomorrow morning. So if you have registered for that breakfast, please turn up, and we will check your name at the door. On your badge that's in front of you, hopefully at the moment, there will be 3 symbols across the bottom, and these symbols represent certain events. So first, that cutlery with our little penguin there is our penguin dinner. Next to it will be a number, which tells you exactly how many tickets you have to that event. We've also got our speakers dinner, which has got our microphone there for speakers. And finally, we've got our networking event, the PDNS. So if you've got tickets to those, your badge will indicate that, and we'll be checking your badge at arrival at each of those events. So as I mentioned earlier, our first event is our Women of Open Technology breakfast. It is tomorrow morning, Tuesday morning, from 7 a.m. We know that's quite early, but there's a lot of enthusiastic people because we've actually managed to sell it out. It'll be in room 5, which is on the first floor, and it's just around the corner where all of the talks will be in our sessions from today and onwards throughout the week. Our next event is the Professional Delegates Networking session that we're going to tell you about. So that's Thursday evening. It's in the QT Hotel at Surfers Paradise. And the reason that our professional and speakers have Go cards in their swag is so that they can get to these events easily. We have got 5 stops on the tram to get there. The light rail comes every 7 minutes. It'll get you there easily, and we will have our volunteers at the appropriate points to direct you through there. The speakers' dinner is invitation only for our main conference speakers. It is Tuesday evening from 7 p.m, and it will be at the SkyPoint observation deck at the top of Q1. So Q1, for those interested, if you walk outside the convention center and look to the north, you'll see a rather large building with a very pointy spike on it. It's quite tall, and you've got a wonderful view of all of the Gold Coast and the surrounding areas all the way back into the Gold Coast hinterland.
So that is 3 stops north on the tram line, and we will again have volunteers posted.
And finally, the Penguin Dinner. So an annual tradition at the conference is our conference dinner, known as the Penguin Dinner. If you are wondering, because there have been a few questions about it, why the penguin? Well, the penguin is the mascot for Linux, our namesake. So Penguin Dinner will be actually in the room directly behind us. So if we go out these doors and around to the other end of the arena, that whole area on Wednesday evening from 7 p.m. will be set up for us for our conference dinner. So all you have to do at the end of the day is you've got a bit of free time, and then you can just come back to where we are now with your conference badge and show that at the door to get in.
Another reminder to please keep your badges for all of these events, because we will be checking them at the venues. So, the code of conduct, we have a code of conduct. It is available on our website. Please make sure you read the code of conduct and understand it. The safety team includes Sarah, Jermaine, myself, Josh Hesketh, Jessica Smith, Matt Sengia, Miles Goodhue. If you need to speak to a member of the safety team, call that number. We are offering childcare this year. Those of you who have signed up should have received information already, and most of your children will already be there. It will be just around the corner on the ground floor, and it is being fully catered. If you've got any questions about that, please get in contact with our childcare centre down at the end here, or your emails. Obviously respond to any of them and we'll help you out. So while childcare is free, we do need to have registrations. So if you would like to use it, but you haven't registered, you will need to open a ticket. Another thing that we're doing this year is having, we've got one day on Tuesday, a coding club that's happening for a number of our young people at the conference. So that'll be held just outside the childcare area, and they'll be doing a whole lot of fun stuff with Minecraft. At a conference, there's also a number of people who have special dietary requirements. We have catered for all of you, assuming you have filled in the details on your registration. Upstairs in the foyers where we have our morning and afternoon teas, you'll find a sign that looks exactly like that. And if you present yourself to that area, the person attending will be able to assist you in getting your meals that you've requested. So the normal morning and afternoon tea is served directly behind you on the first floor, and the special dietary buffet is in this direction. With any conference, especially PyCon and LCA, we are very happy to provide financial assistance for people from diverse backgrounds and underrepresented groups. This year, we've paid for more than $35,000 in financial assistance to help people with flights, accommodation, and getting to the conference itself with tickets. So I'd like to thank Google again for helping to support us with that. So please join in a round of applause. The charity raffle this year, as we have put out already, is going to go to the Red Cross, and it's going to assist their bushfire appeal. The fires that have been affecting Australia recently are devastating.
And while I have not been directly affected, it's been very heartbreaking watching what's been happening around the rest of the country. We've actually had a number of attendees and speakers pull out due to this, due to being affected directly, and we want to help them out as best we can. So we will be sending all proceeds from our raffle to this charity. The tickets are not available yet, but they will be available from the conference website via your dashboard. So there will be no physical tickets sold. Everything will be done online through that dashboard. We'll give you further information on that tomorrow morning, so keep an eye out for it.
The Linux Australia AGM will be tonight. It is in room 7 on the first floor. It's the middle room. It's from 6 p.m. So if you would like to go to that, please be punctual. To contact us, email contact@lca2020.linux.org.au. This will go into our ticketing system, and someone will respond to that reasonably quickly. You can also visit the registration desk. Registration is open all week from 8 a.m., or you can find a volunteer with the hand on the back of their shirt, the hand logo, and they should be able to direct you to where you need to go. For first aid, speak to a volunteer, and we will contact the conference venue. All of the security staff are first responders. If it is a life-threatening emergency, please call 000.
Looking out at the audience at the moment, I can see a number of you on your favorite social media websites. So this is probably completely useless information to you. But I know that there will be plenty of people tweeting about it and so on. So if you don't already know, our hashtag for the week is LCA 2020.
If you are including other people in your photos, please make sure that you do have permission to use that photo, because some people will not like you taking photos of them and then posting them publicly. So please keep that in mind.
So one of the things we often do here is sort of get a level of interest or gauge how many people have been to these events before. So I want to see who here is coming to the conference for their first time. A huge welcome to all of you. It's going to be a fun week. We hope you enjoy all of the schedule. As you all saw, there are a lot of people who are not here for their first time. So if you have any questions, please go and find one of them and pester them and say, what should I learn about? What can you tell me about the conference? And they will be very happy to share that knowledge with you. One of the things that's been said a number of times at LCA is this thing called the Pac-Man rule. You'll see people in groups around in the hallway track, at morning tea, and so on. If you're standing in a circle, just leave a gap, like a Pac-Man. Someone else can then come and join you in that circle, and they can then learn more about what you're talking about, learn more about the conference, and so on.
Morning tea will be served at 10:10, I believe.
No, yes.
It is on the conference schedule. I believe it's 10:10. I pull request welcome for that information. So you still have about half an hour to wander the venue, explore the grounds, soak up the sun with sunscreen on, ideally, and registration will still be open. So, thank you very much. Please enjoy the rest of your week.